Adventureland, that's like a sweet spot for me. That's a feel-good movie I return to quite a bit. I'm going to pull them off when they really mean something to me, though. And what better one to start with than fucking After Hours, baby. Fucking getting after it. I actually just recently watched this one for the first time, and it's changed, like, everything I've written since then. I'm writing a movie with a friend right now, and we just keep calling it our After Hours script. About, it's like my character has a pregnant girlfriend at home, probably played by my Lady Piper. And he's like freaking out about it, and so he goes out. She asks him to like get her a slushie, so he goes out to get a slushie, and then he ends up not returning until like the morning because his night just craziness ensues, and he has to keep going back to get the slushie because ridiculous shit keeps happening and keeps losing the slushie. Oh, dude, come on. Rest in peace to Mike from American Movie, the greatest horror movie scream of all time. Oh, come on, man. The original Bad News Bears. One of the greatest American comedies of all time. Such a sweet place in my heart. I used to watch that one all the time. Also, have to say, the Richard Linklater remake, not bad. As far as remakes go, it's pretty fucking good. Basketball, love it. Come on now. Being John Malkovich, love it. Not enough to pull off the shelf. But Be Kind Rewind, I'll pull that motherfucker off the shelf because Michel Gondry killed it in this one. These performances, I think Jack Black's one of the most underrated actors in America, no doubt about it. And in this movie, it's such a perfect example. It's got so much heart. Oh, here you go, dude. These are the ones. This is the whole reason I got into everything I did. Fucking Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, baby. So fucking good. I've seen those two movies more than any other movie ever. Once on a road trip, me and my brother just did every line to Billy Madison, and we did the entire movie. Didn't have to break. Crooklyn, dude. Hell yeah. My personal favorite Spike Lee film. I put it above all the rest. And from what I know, I believe his sister wrote it, and maybe that's why. Because it doesn't have the like typical like indulgences that Spike Lee had after he made Do the Right Thing, and then he was kind of given the blank check. Dogville, love it. Might be my favorite Von Trier just because it's so wild. Oh, you got Dog Fight too? Hell yeah. That's a sick movie, dude. River Phoenix. Fallen in Love, dude. The De Niro and Meryl Streep pairing. Come on. Come on. Ghost Dog. Sick. Herzog. The fucking guy. Come on. You got Strozak, one of the best. Little Dieter Needs to Fly. Strozak's a psycho, dude. He literally took this dude who was a prisoner of war back to where he was a prisoner of war and made him act out his own reenactments of being a prisoner of war. Psycho. Awesome movie, though. Even Dwarves Started Small. One of my all-time favorites. Such a wild film. It's all these dwarves who live together. And it's just them living their lives in the most crazy way I've ever seen. Like, one of them has a roach collection, and it's all these little dead roaches, and she makes pants for them, and then she makes clothes for them, and they, like, try them on, and everybody wants to touch her roach collection. Unbelievable. Also, I don't know what it is, but when you go back and watch all the Herzog films, he has an obsession with motherfuckers driving trucks in circles. I don't know what it is, dude, but Even Doors Started Small and Strozak, probably my two favorites, both of them end with a fucking truck just driving in a circle with no one in it. Love it. Agora, Wrath of God. Fuck yeah, dude. So sick. My Best Fiend, one of my favorite docs, just because it's wild to see two creative people at the height of their creativity be so bad for each other in real life and then be so good for each other when the fucking cameras are rolling. Dude, heaven knows what. There you go. That's the best Safdie film. You don't have to give me an argument for Good Time or for Uncut Gems. I know how good they are. Heaven knows what. That's their best one. Bull Durham. One of my all-time favorite movies. Watched this movie for the first time with my uncle, and he knew every line to it. And I was too young to really understand why it was funny or why it was so fantastic. But because he loved it, I loved it immediately. And I would show all my friends that movie. Also, Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon, can you fucking get hotter, dude? No, you can't. And baseball. I love baseball. The Cable Guy. So dark, so fucking funny. He's fantastic. This has one of my favorite moments in a comedy, and it's when fucking Jim Carrey shows up to the basketball game, and it's before he is like joins them to play. He says he has to warm up first, and he does suicides across the fucking court to the point where he's like on the same line. It's unbelievable. Caddyshack, gold. Maybe top 10 American comedy. Fucking fantastic. Everybody knows that. Also, Caddyshack, I'll go on paper right now. Another hot take for you. The best last line of a movie ever. It ends with Rodney Dangerfield saying, "Hey, we're all gonna get laid." It's so optimistic. Oh, dude. The Cruise. The Cruise, which you have signed by Mr. Levitch. Fantastic. I watched this for the first time this year, was blown away, almost brought to tears by it, and also brought to tears out of laughter and also out of just like the pure humanity of it. Dan, in real life, my mom loves that movie for the one line when he gets pulled over by the cop and the cop starts talking to him and he goes, "Put it on my tab." Love it. Oh, dude. Husbands. Another one that changed my life. First time I watched this one, I was fucking blown away. I was going all the way through the Cassavetes filmography, but I ended up missing this one because it was harder to find. And then I ended up going back to it after I'd seen most of the other ones. The scene with them in the bar where they're just drinking and making people perform, and then it goes to them in the bathroom for 10 minutes straight throwing up. Unbelievable. Fuck this dude. Am I right? Fuck this dude. This is so fucked up. This is horrible. But the end is so romantic and beautiful. But fuck this dude, man. Get out of town. He had Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci together at the height of their sexiness, and he decided to make something that's full of provocation, sure, but completely lacking in soul. Fuck that dude. The kid stays in picture. So sick. This fucking guy's incredible. This doc is so worth watching. And the book is worth reading. The book is actually even crazier than the doc, and I love it to death. Mikey and Nikki, come on, man. My love affair for Elaine May is unending. She's one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. And this right here, this fucking movie, the stories about her trying to get these back, like hiding the film reels because the studio tried to take it away from her, her threatening the studio, I love it. She's such a bad bitch, and this movie's so fantastic, and I would argue maybe Cassavetes' best performance. Once Upon a Time in America, we talked about this on the pod. My number 2, Robert De Niro. The movie's so fucking brilliant. It's so filled with these little moments that are just so weird. Some of the weirdest scenes I've ever seen, but then so beautiful. Also has one of my favorite tropes in cinema, which is ending on the main character in a low state. They're at the bottom of their power, completely powerless, you could say, but then they smile at the camera. And that's a trope that I've been fucking trying to capture since I started making movies, and this may be the movie that does it best. The Outsider's a complete novel, dude. A fucking underrated flick, man. Not enough people know. He fucking made The Godfather again with teenagers, dude. And it's fucking sick. This is an operatic teen film. He also made it at the same time he made Rumblefish, which is a teenage art film. You gotta fucking see them both, dude. When I was a kid, actually, I was so obsessed with this movie and this book that when I was in the 3rd grade, I wrote a sequel to The Outsiders. Before I knew that there was a sequel to The Outsiders, I wrote a sequel, and in it was like Tim Shepard's little brother Curly like comes back to town, and Soda Pop is getting married and all this shit. It was awesome. Dude, Pumping Iron. We should have known. This guy's nuts. The shit he says in this fucking movie, I remember like watching it as a kid, and there's a scene where like his dad dies, and he's like, "That's just distractions. Like I can't fucking deal with that." I love it. Dude, Fletch. I just watched the new Fletch on the plane coming to town. Not bad, dude. The one with John Hamm. But this movie, I love it to death. I also love his obsession with the Lakers in this movie because I love the Showtime Lakers. And there's a moment where he offers to take this woman on a date, and he's like, "I can take you to a Lakers game, or I can take you to like, it's like fucking Cabo or something." And she chooses that. And I'm like, "What are you, out of your fucking mind? You could have saw the Showtime Lakers, lady." One of the most formative movies of my entire fucking life, dude. Danny McBride, I'll go on record, I think he may be one of the funniest, most truthful, and scare, like dangerous performers. I think he took the mantle from Bill Murray as being a dangerous performer, where when he's in a scene, I don't know what's gonna fucking happen, and it seems like none of the other actors know what's gonna happen too. And this was his fucking like, he's out in the world. Directed by Jody Hill, who's one of his boys. I think they all went to UNC together. And they've been making their shit together ever since. He's doing it the way I've always said I want to do it. You get your fucking friends. You don't move to LA. You don't move anywhere like that. You go somewhere you all love. You stay together and you make movies together. And that's that. You getting tired?
No.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, dude. The weather outside is weather. Love it. Come on. Forrest Gump? Fuck that movie, dude. Not a fan of Forrest Gump at all, man. I'm not even going to go into that one, dude. That movie, morally, there's something wrong with that. No, I will go into it, all right? Jenny, because she likes to fucking have fun, she has to be punished with AIDS? Dude, fuck you, man. This guy, just because he's an idiot, he knows how to live life better? I hate that fucking story. They do it so often. Friday, dude. Maybe one of the best circadian films. Such a fucking funny movie. Brilliant. This movie is genuinely brilliant because it knows exactly how simple something can be and how fucking funny something can be. And I would say Chris Tucker gives one of the best performances of the 90s in this movie. Also, they use the song from Car Wash that I love, the dun 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 at the end. I wanna get next to you. Sick. Dude, Hot Shots, come on, man. I fucking love early Charlie Sheen, dude. And Hot Shots rips. We talked about it on the pod, but Jackass, unbelievable. Every single one of them. The TV show's actually the best thing they ever did, but every movie's fantastic. Synecdoche, love it. Every time I watch it, I can't decide if it's a comedy or if it's the saddest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Or if it's the perfect blend of both. The Kings. Some of my all-time favorite movies were made by these guys right here. I still think to this day, the first time I saw Duck Soup, I was like, this movie feels like it was made yesterday. It's so modern and it's so hilarious. They're so sarcastic and lovely, and everything about what they do is revolt. It's just revolt, revolt, revolt. And they always I always feel like they're, as far as moral filmmaking goes, they're always on the right side of history. Like the people who they hate, you're supposed to hate, and I love it. Dirty. Paul Schrader's a dirty boy. He's such a dirty boy. I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid when it was on Cinemax. Strictly for the boobs. It's actually a good movie, though. Jerry Maguire. I love this movie, dude. I know a lot of people shit on Cameron Crowe, but I love that sentimental shit. In this movie especially, man, because every single person in it is bringing it, dude. Bonnie Hunt. Amazing. Dude, I just rewatched Joe Dirt. It's so sick. It's so funny. I love Joe Dirt to death, dude. I'm actually a huge David Spade fan. I feel like he's so underrated. Jersey Girl. Sometimes you can just watch movies over and over because George Carlin's in them and he's not in many. But that's one of them worth doing it. Oh, come on, dude. I'm surprised this didn't even come up on the pod. It's one of Scorsese's best. I'd throw it in the top 5. Robert De Niro's a psycho in this movie, dude, and I love it to death. Also, actually, my favorite performance in this is Sandra Bernhard. Unfucking real. One of the best scary film performances. It reminds me of Play Misty for Me. She does that so well. Oh, dude, I just watched Defending for Your Life not that long ago. One of my favorite romantic comedies I've ever seen. This is the most I've ever liked Meryl Streep. I was totally in love with her the whole time. Oh, man, The Money Pit? Dude, 1980s Tom Hanks is the best Tom Hanks. Him making those comedies, I love it, dude. Get out of that Forrest Gump shit. Make more movies like The Money Pit. The Burbs? Come on, dude. Joe versus a Volcano? Come on, man. The Wrestler? It's good, because I love Mickey Rourke, but Rosetta's better. If you like, what's his name? Who's this guy? I always forget his name because I don't like him. If you like Darren Aronofsky, Watch the Dardenne brothers. They did it all before him and they did it better. Also watch Perfect Blue, because he bought the rights to that movie and then just ripped it apart and put it in all his other movies, like Black Swan specifically. Dude. Death Proof. Why didn't he do more shit like this, man? He's having so much fun in this movie. It's a shame, dude. It's a shame when directors let their reputation get the best of them. Because I feel like Tarantino could have made so many more movies that were just genuinely fun and just a celebration. And that movie is one of them, and it's fucking great. Dude, Final Destination, that's a guilty pleasure for me. I love those movies, dude. I know what's coming. Everyone knows what's coming, and I love it to death. My Blue Heaven, the unofficial sequel to Goodfellas, love it. Chevy Chase in the vacation movies, unreal. Oh, man. Another Jody Hill classic, dude. One of the darkest comedies ever made. Like, frighteningly dark, but so fucking good. Also, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. He's so good and so funny in this movie. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? The People's Choice Coen Brother movie. I feel like this is the one that reached the widest audience. And also, growing up in the South, this was like everybody's favorite movie. Everyone was obsessed with this movie that I knew. As soon as it hits your lips. That was one of the first movies me and Piper watched together. On cable, no less. So, Will Ferrell's ass was blurred out.
I've never seen that movie.
Old school? We watched it together.
No, we didn't.
You're out of your mind. We watched it when we were at the beach. It was playing, the one with him and Luke Wilson and Vince Vaughn, where they started their fraternity.
I think you watched it.
We definitely watched it together. Dude, Pee-wee's Big Adventure? I'll go on fucking camera right now with another hot take. That's Tim Burton's best movie. Pretty in Pink. I met Andrew McCarthy recently, and he was showing this film and doing a book signing at the Plaza, and he was so fucking nice. And he also had a little tidbit that apparently he's wearing a wig at the end of the movie when him and Molly Ringwald kiss, because he was doing a play in New York where he played a Marine, so he had his head shaved, went back to do a reshoot for that scene, and he said that he didn't have to act at all because the wig was so bad it made him look so sad. And I thought that was great. Such a nice guy. Oh, dude. I fucking love Purple Rain, dude. I love Prince, and I love Purple Rain. Also love Morris Day in the motherfucking Time, but... Oh, dude. Steve Zahn, dude. Fucking Steve Zahn. I say this all the time. Steve Zahn is an American treasure, and he should be treated as such. I think we've done Steve Zahn a disservice as a country by not celebrating him more and giving him better roles to chew on. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Near Dark? Catherine Bigelow is my favorite out of the coupling of James Cameron and Catherine Bigelow. This movie is so fucking sick. It's also a vampire movie where they never say that they're vampires, and it fucking rips, dude. Serendipity. I'm a sucker for a good John Cusack rom-com. And Kate Beckinsale, come on. Excuse me. One of my all-time favorite movies. So fucking good. So fucking funny. Written by a woman who also made another movie in the 80s that I just watched that was called, I think it's called The Fabulous Stains, which is fucking fantastic. It was such a fun movie with a young Diane Lane and a young, who's the blonde in Jurassic Park? She's awesome. Laura Dern. A young Laura Dern and a young Diane Lane. It's so great. But this movie right here is one of the funniest, saddest, beautiful films. Oh, dude. Another top 10 American comedy. This is Spinal Tap. Growing up, I actually thought they were British. It's so good. Top Secret. My love affair for Val Kilmer. It's unending. I love Val Kilmer so much. I just think it's funny that you have A Bug's Life next to 2001: A Space Odyssey. Because I like those movies equally. I love them. Maybe my favorite Carpenter. Love Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell is so charming. And Kim Cattrall, an underrated comedic actor. She's so fucking great. Dude. Michael Mann. This isn't even like a top 3 Michael Mann, and it still kicks ass. Michael Mann is the man. That's a top 3 Coppola right there, baby. So good. So good. Unbelievable sound design. I fucking love Wedding Crashers. I think that's like a perfect studio comedy. Wet Hot American Summer, dude. There was like a year in middle school where I think that movie was my entire personality. Oh, come on, man. Zelig, I'm not even going to pull it out because it's in a box, but Zelig, one of the best mockumentaries ever made, one of the sweetest, most tender, short little films. I love it with my whole heart. Also Sleeper. The early funny ones for me, baby. Broadway Danny Rose, dude. Go in line with that. Broadway Danny Rose, another one of my favorites. So sweet, so tender, so funny. Maybe the best of the Mia Farrow pairings. Love it to death. All the Real Girls? Come on, man. The film debut of my guy, Danny McBride. One of David Gordon Green's first after George Washington, which is one of my favorite movies. Badlands. Perfect. Fuck True Romance for taking that score. That's how I feel about it. Oh, Broken Flowers. Dude, this is a movie I always forget about, but it's so brilliant. One of my favorite Jarmusch. Bill Murray's amazing in it, but it's hands down my favorite performance of Jeffrey Wright. He's so funny as almost like a conspiracy theorist who is in on the early days of the internet, and he's obsessed with it. I love it to death. Oh, wow, dude. You have a copy of The Brown Bunny. That's amazing. One of my faves. This one gets more gorgeous to me every time I watch it, and every time I almost tear up when I watch the scene where he's just shooting through the windshield of his van and there's fucking bug guts on it and it's raining and Gordon Lightfoot's Beautiful plays. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't even think I have to say anything else about this one. It's mostly been said, but it's gorgeous. One of my all-time favorite endings of a movie ever. Sweetness by Yes playing. He lays down in the bed with his lady. He just brought her back a sweet. He chooses love. And that's that. Catch Me If You Can, dude. Might be my favorite Spielberg. Sugarland Express and Catch Me If You Can. My top two Spielbergs. Oh, man. This movie was my whole high school, dude. I fucking love Chungking Express, man. Not my favorite of his, but that one was the one that got me into Wong Kar-wai. I would say Happy Together, that's my numero uno, but Chungking is still up there, dude. Happy Together and Fallen Angels, those ones hit me the hardest. Oh my god, dude. This movie is so underrated. So fucking underrated. I love Cocktail so much, and I love Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue in this movie so much. This is one of the most existential romantic films ever made, and it's never given that credit. It's all about what it is like to try to live at your absolute fullest, to live life as good as you can to the best of your ability, and how we all fail at doing it, but how beautiful it can be when you meet people along the way, and this one tears my heart out every time. Also, just fucking sick, them throwing drinks around. Oh yeah, dude. A movie has never kicked more ass than Roadhouse. And that's that. Let's see. There we go. I think that's that. Yeah, I'm happy with ending on a movie has never kicked more ass than Roadhouse.